All right, what's up, you guys? Welcome to another live stream. Hopefully, you guys can hear me. If you're joining here live, let me know if you can hear me good. And yeah, so I'm gonna show you my inventory system, and I'm also gonna be showing you all the orders that are going out for eBay, Poshmark, and I think I have one on Depop over the weekend. So if you have any questions, just let me know in the comments. If you have anything you want to talk about, reselling related, just feel free to leave it in the chat. And if you're watching on the replay, I just want to say thank you so much. And if this is your first time here, my name is Eric, and I have a eBay, Poshmark, Depop, and Mercari store called Do Thrift Clothing, and I sell primarily men's clothing. So if you want to learn more about that, feel free to subscribe to my channel, and hopefully you like the content. So let's get started here. I'm going to start first with, well, actually, no, I'm going to start first just explaining my inventory system. It's nothing new. I want to give credit to Daily Refinement and Tech and Sports. It's pretty much exactly what Daily Refinement did when he was doing eBay. Hopefully I can explain it good. If not, I'm probably going to leave like a link to one of his videos where he explains it much better than I do. So I'm going to try. All right, so here we go. So first, I just use a number. So this number is only going to be used one time. And for example, right now I'm at 9,000 and I started at 1. And so the first item that's always in the front here of my box is always going to be the lesser item. So the lesser number, which means that item, that's the furthest one that I listed, right? And that's another good reason why to do this inventory system, is because it goes hand in hand. For example, if you can't find an item, you can just go to your eBay and look up, okay, what day did I list this item? And let's say I also take pictures of this item and I put it on my listing. So if let's say you forget to take a picture of the item or the label, and let's say you forget to put it in the SKU system on eBay, the last thing you can do is look up the date, right? So that's another good reason to do this system. So the lower the number, that's the furthest away from the day, right? So I don't even know if I'm explaining it good. Hopefully you guys understand me. But yeah, so for example, this one's 9,662. Let's say I have an item that's 9,668. I just go here. I know that this is 62. So 68 is probably going to be, a few behind this one, right? So here we got 68. Let's say it's one on this one. Let's say it's 9,692. I look at the first one. I'm like, okay, this is 9,662. I need 92. And I look at the next one. It's 86. So I know that it's going to be behind this one. And there's 92. So it's very simple. And you guys are going to see right now that I'm pulling the orders. It's going to be very, I'm going to try to go slow, right? Because I want to, talk about a little bit about the items that are selling. But to pull out like around 30 orders, it takes me, probably like around 5 minutes. So it's very quick, very easy. If you guys have any questions, just let me know. But that's pretty much it, right? That's pretty much my inventory system. And it's very straightforward, very simple. And again, I want to give credit to Daily Refinement and Tech and Sports. All right, so let me get started. I'm going to get started with all the higher dollar sales. I'm going to start with eBay first. First, we have a Canali 2-piece suit sold for $150. So as you can see there, I have my custom label. It's 10,320. So I'm gonna go over here. 10,320. And it's right here. I usually pack my suits in like a frosted poly bag. Or you can't see it, right? But then I put it here. I have two boxes here. and I just start putting them towards the back. That way, when I'm ready to ship, I just ship based on the total amount, and it's going to be in order. That's way it's that way it would be easier for me to look for the item when I'm shipping. So we got that one. The next one is a Harris tweed blazer, sold for $100. This one was nice. It had an elbow patch. It was a shooting one because it had like the shoulder pad thing. That one sold for $100. And this one I have it hanging. So here I have a closet where I keep all my coats, like my bigger jackets. I also keep the ties. I have one tie that I sold, so I'm gonna show you that. But yeah, and this room is small, right? This room is probably like 10 by 13, so it's super small. I have like around 730 items, not that much, but I can probably fit around 2,000 items because over here I still have a lot of space on this one. I just have like the first 2 rows, but I still have all that. And I still have enough room probably to put like another shelf here in the middle. Hopefully I can get up to like 2,000 because that's kind of like my goal. I think 2,000 is a good size for an eBay store for a one-man show. But yeah, so Harris tweed. For this one, I don't put any custom label because I know that's hanging. Then I just look for it. Very nice one. Has the wooden buttons, has the shooting pad, has the elbow patches. So for $100, very good sale. And if it's like this loose, then I just put it like that in the box in the order. Next up, we got another. Oh no, I think I sold another suit, but this one's just a jacket blazer. Laurel Piana, Hickey Freeman. So this one's 10,314. And here it is. I talked about picking up Hickey Freeman blazers. If they have like a Laurel Piana fabric, then I usually lead with Laurel Piana in the title, even though that's technically not the brand. But more people are going to be searching for Laurel Piana than Hickey Freeman. So I usually just add Laurel Piana in the front and then add the brand or Hickey Freeman towards the back. But if it's like a Brooks Brothers with the Laurel Piana fabric, then I would lead with Brooks Brothers, blazer, jacket, suit, whatever, and then Laurel Piana. But if it's a lesser brand, if it's a brand that maybe it doesn't have that many solds, but it has a good fabric like Laurel Piana, then you can lead with the Laurel Piana, right? So, oh, look at this one right here. Some Diesel Satan jeans sold for $95. 9614. So here is towards the bottom. Here we got 9614. I love picking up Diesel. They have like the Satan, I think the Satini. I don't even know if I'm saying it right, but Satan, Satini. Even like the skinny Diesel jeans, I sold for like over $50. So I'm still picking up all the Diesel men's jeans. Still do very good. All right, here's the suit that I was talking about earlier. It's a Baird McNutt linen. It's a 3-piece suit. Sold for $70. And I just listed that one like a couple of days ago. So sold very fast. And a good thing it sold now because the linen blazer suits kind of start slowing down. When it starts getting a little bit hot, colder. But I'm glad I sold that one during this time. Next up, we got a Barbell Apparel Adapt joggers. Sold for $55. 9576. So just by looking at the number, I can tell like what date that I listed, right? So these are 9,500. Right now I'm at 10,300. So in my mind, I already have an idea how long this took. And just based off of the number, my lease number right now is 6,968. And that's probably like a year and 2 months. I think I have like 20 items that have passed over a year. So what I do, I try, if something passes over a year, I give it a couple of months, and I put it like 80% off. And if it doesn't sell, then I just take it out of my store. So most of these items are under a year. So I try to turn it around, at least under a year. Um, but this one, based on the number, that one's probably around like 5 months old, I would say. Here we got a Xenia linen shirt, sold for $45. It was a nice one. It had a nice floral pattern. And it went overseas, so there's no returns on that one. 102.05. 102.05. All right. I don't pick up everything Xenia, but obviously, if it's a linen, floral, it's gonna do very good. Next up, we got a Peter Millar Perth. I talked about these in plenty of videos of mine. I love picking up the Peter Millar Perth, even if it has a logo. This one had a huge logo. Oh, and it was brand new. So, but still, I had like a local company. But I still pick those up. And the thrift stores here, they usually price these lower, just because it has, the logos. But I still pick them up. And this one sold for $42 and 101.96. You guys have any questions, or you want to let me know some sales that you had over the weekend, feel free to do so. All right, next is a Frank and Eileen. This one was called the Shirley. I sold a lot of Frank and Eileen. I say by accident because a lot of stores, they mistake them for men's clothing, so they're always usually in the button-ups for the men's. And a very good brand. Obviously, if you don't know about Frank and Eileen, they sell, I think, mostly women's clothing. I think they do sell men's clothing. I have to research that because I keep saying that, but they sell mostly women's clothing. But this one sold for $53. 9491, 9491, 9491. And they usually have the model for the Frank and Eileen here in the bottom. There's usually like a tag here. So this one says Shirley. All right, we got another blazer. This one's a Ralph Lauren. Nice corduroy, elbow patch. Didn't sell for that much, but I still made profit on that one. 102.94. All right, next one, we got another blazer. Should I try to say it? I'm just gonna say Saint Laurent. I don't know. I'm not gonna try to say it. Saint Laurent blazer with the gold button, sold for $32. 632. All right, here we got the tie. It is a Turnbull and Asser. Let me know, what do you think about my pictures? I don't think anybody else does pictures like this one. I try to check on eBay, and I just try to find a way like to stand out. And I don't know, I just came up with this one. What do you guys think as my cover photo? Now it does take a little bit more time because I have to put like the blazer and then the white shirt under. But I think it looks pretty good. What do you guys think? Sold for $35. So here I just have one hanger that has all my ties. And obviously from here, it's easy to pick out the one, which is gonna be this one right here. This one doesn't have like a tag that says Turnbull and Asser, but for ties, if you can't find the tag there, sometimes they have like the name here towards the bottom. And this one was kind of tricky, right? Like if you're just going through the ties very fast, you wouldn't really catch it, but it says there Turnbull and Asser. And I probably paid like around $1 for this one, so I don't want to be paying too much for ties, especially if they're gonna sell between $30 and $40. Um, but for ties, I usually I fold it like this, and then I put it in a poly bag, and then I put it inside a padded flat rate envelope. So that one sold for 35 bucks. Here we got a J. Lindeberg wool sweater. Nothing fancy, $25. 9131. Now, as I'm packing orders, I usually, in my mind, I ask myself, would I pick this up again? I look at the price, how much it sold for, and I look at how long it took. So this one's 9,100, which is probably closer to a year, maybe like 8 to 10 months, and they only sold for $25. So, and you also have to think about like the time that it sold, right? It's the summer. This is a wool sweater, so it could have probably sold a little bit more during the colder times, but that's just something that I think about when I'm shipping my orders out. Here we got an Area FR work shirt. This one's a woman's, sold for $25. I think this one had a lot of stains, and the women's FR shirts don't do as good as the men's. If this was a men's, this would have sold probably for over $40, even with stains. But I think I just accepted an offer, and yeah. Here we got a Polo Ralph Lauren corduroy pants, sold for $19. Vintage, and they were red, so it's not very common to find those. But for the most part, I pretty much just stopped picking up corduroy Polo Ralph Lauren pants. I know some still do pretty good. But yeah, as you can see, this one only sold for $19. So, and the last item for eBay, we got a Tommy Bahama Hawaiian shirt. Yeah, 18 bucks, 9643. I pretty much just stopped picking up all Tommy Bahama shirts because it just doesn't meet my metrics personally. And I'm talking about even like, I mean, this one's a nice, but this one is more of a, I don't know. It's just like floral. If I can find like the Hulu Girl, or like just something more unique other than florals, flowers and stuff like that, then I'll probably pick it up. But when it comes to like basic Tommy Bahamas, it doesn't really meet my metrics anymore. So I'm gonna get now into my Depop sales. First up, we got some Lululemon joggers, sold for 35 bucks. Next up, we got some Roan commuter pants, sold for $33. This one has an eBay poly bag, but I still ship it out like that. People don't really care. Got some Suit Supply pants, so for 41 bucks. This was probably the sale of the weekend. Got a Brooks Brothers two-piece suit, sold for $250. Let me show you the tags. This one was a Drago. Is that how you say it? Drago? Lanificio. Had a good fabric. The size was good. This is how I do my measurements for blazers and suits. I do the full pit to pit, the length. I do the length of the sleeve. I do a close-up of the sleeve. And I do the shoulder to shoulder width. And for the pants, I do the waist. I do the length. And I usually do the, what do you call it? From the middle? What is it called? Oh my gosh. I forgot the one where you measure the, I forgot, I'm blanking right now, but I measure that one. And then I measure the size of the pant, right? Like how wide it is. But this is Poshmark, so it doesn't allow me to put like all the pictures. So I usually have to delete some, but yeah, this was Brooks Brothers, 250 bucks. And the funny thing about this one is that I literally just picked this one up because it was returned from eBay. And I just went this morning to pick it up in the mail. I think I sold it for like $150 on eBay. They returned it. And yeah, I sold it yesterday. So I'm kind of happy that I got a return for that one. Here we got a Carhartt FR pants. Probably one of those items that I'm not going to pick up anymore. 9538. There could be some Carhartt FR pants stuff that do good. But this one in specific, I know not to pick up for me personally. Here we got a Flint and Tinder 365 chino pants, sold for 31 bucks. Flint and Tinder still does pretty good for me. All right, I'm gonna need a new box. So, by the way, the boxes that I use, if I remember correctly, I think these are 8 by 8 by 30. So this brand I was kind of experimenting for blazers because the comps, they were pretty good. They weren't the best. I think they were probably around like 50 to 60% sell through rate, but which is not bad for blazers and suits. The brand is Shaquille O'Neal. I got this one I think for like $8, so I couldn't really lose on it, and it sold for $59, and it sold probably within a week or a week and a half. So what that tells me is that the next time that I see a Shaquille O'Neal blazer, I'll most likely pick it up. 10326. Now this one did have a pretty good, pattern, so that definitely helped itself. And I'm guessing that that brand, I mean, if you don't know Shaquille O'Neal, right? He was a basketball player, but He's a huge dude, so I think the clothing that he makes is geared towards bigger guys. So um, maybe it's kind of similar to the other brand called Oak Hill, which they also make bigger suits for bigger guys. Here we got American Giant sweatpants, sold for $33. And I think that was the last one for Poshmark. I don't think I had that many on Depop, or maybe I don't have any at all. I don't think so, right? No. So no sales on Depop, which is kind of understandable because my store is not that big. Um, if I can average like 10 sales per week on Depop, I think that's pretty good. I just have to get more listings up on Depop. And Mercari is Mercari, right? Like sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. I didn't have any sales, so I don't. I'm not gonna show you anything there. But yeah, you guys, if you have any questions, I'm gonna look at the chat now. Hola, Apples. Yeah. Shaq has a clothing line, and yeah, I didn't know either. So now we know, right? All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, if you're watching on the replay, leave them in the comments. Let me know. Uh, Let me know also what was your best sale from the weekend. I love, you know, I love when people share like their best sales or bolos and stuff like that because it also helps me. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.